Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xanthe Naomi if you're new, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to make a frontal wig. So right here I'm showing you guys the frontal and the bundles I used to make this wig, and like always I will link where I got the frontal and bundles from, so check the description box down below if you're interested. So the frontal is 13 by 6, transparent in 20 inches, but I believe it's giving 24 inches, okay? And the bundles are 32 in body wave. So this is the wig cap I'm going to be using for the wig, but to be honest with you guys, I bought this in the Bahamas, so I can't even link where I got it from down below. So I would just say you can get this from any beauty supply store around you. But first, you want to take your cap and securely place it on the mannequin, making sure that it's on there and pulled on as much as possible. I'm also using T-pins to just secure the cap in the front and in the back. So I just want to apologize in advance for the camera going in and out of focus. It was really hard to record this video and make the wig at the same time. I know you guys can't see, but the camera is like directly in front of the wig and it was making it hard for me to see. So I couldn't pay attention to the camera and making the wig at the same time, so I apologize. Guys, this is one of the most important steps, if not the most important, so pay attention. If you get this step wrong, the whole wig will be wrong. So you're going to take the frontal and place it behind the wig cap. You want to center it on the mannequin and then bring it forward. Then you're going to bring the wig down about an inch or an inch and a half past the wig cap. Then you're going to want to pin it down, like the frontal part, just to make sure that it's secure and it doesn't move. Next, you want to go to the back of the wig. You want to find the middle and pull it as much as possible and then pin it down. Next, you're going to go to the end of the back of the frontal and pull it back and down so there are no lumps between the middle and the end. And you're just going to take your T-pin and secure it there. It's okay if there's extra frontal at the end of it because those are going to be used to cut your ear tabs whenever you install the wig. But you want to leave that alone and don't do anything with it. So here I'm just showing you that it should be flat and neat, and I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. So a good indicator that you did this step right is how the front of the frontal looks. If you see this M shape in the front, then you know you did it right and don't have to change anything. So now it's time to sew the frontal down to secure it. You want to start in the middle and do one side of the frontal and then do the other side. So I'm just going to take my needle and I'm going to go through the weft of the frontal and the wig cap. You want to make sure you go through both because if you don't, it won't be secured. Also, once I go through both of them, I'm going to take the needle and place it between the needle and thread to make a knot. If that doesn't make sense, just keep watching and you'll see. Guys, through this whole process, the thread was giving me problems, okay? And I think it was because it was a new one that I've never used before, but it was really hard to use. So when my knots got knotted, well, when the thread got knotted, you're just gonna see me pull and tug until I get it through. So I'm going to just continue to sew the frontal down, and I'm going to knot it every stitch. You don't have to do this, but that's just the way that I like to do it. It makes me feel like it's more secure, and it's what I like to do. So you don't have to, but you can if you want. So usually I think people stitch like every inch apart, but I like to do it maybe half an inch apart. It does take more time, but again, I just feel like it's more secure. I've made 4 of my own personal wigs using this method, and none of them have come apart or needed maintenance or to be resewn. Is that a word, resewn? Resewn. I don't know, but they haven't needed any maintenance to resew it. So I just like to continue to use this method. Guys, this is also an extremely important step when sewing down the frontal. So do you see that black dark line going down the wig cap? Yeah, I know you see it. You want to avoid sewing into that part at any means possible, okay? So what I do is usually I sew before and after it, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, so continuing from a minute ago, that black thick part of the cap is the elastic band, and it allows the wig to stretch to fit the head. So when sewing through it, you have to be extremely careful. You see, I'm demonstrating how you should not do it, because if you go through it completely, it will mess up the wig, and it's just a no-no. When going through the elastic part, you want to go through the very first layer, and you'll know it's the first layer because it's very thin. It's hard to miss, guys, but if you don't get what I'm saying, pay attention to how I'm doing it and you'll see. Now, whenever you get to the end of sewing, you want to make sure you're knotting it so that it's secure, so that it doesn't come apart. My thread got in a knot, so I just cut the thread a bit longer and then tied the part I cut and the knot together. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and sew the other side. A rule of thumb, guys, just be really careful when sewing any of the dark parts. If any of the parts are see-through, that's fine, you don't have to worry about it, but any of those black or really dark areas, you just want to be careful when you're sewing through it. Okay, so now it's time to sew in the bundles, and it's really kind of the same process. I'm gonna take the bundle and I'm sewing it through both of the wefts because that's just how I like to do it and it's faster. You can do one track at a time, but for me that just takes too long. I'm gonna start at the back and work my way up. I like to start with the center, and when I'm going to the next section I like to go from one end to the other, but for now I'm starting in the middle. I know that some people like to draw lines of where they want to sew on their wig cap, and you can definitely do it. It does make it a bit easier for you to like know exactly where you're gonna sew the bundles in, but I've done this a few times and like I know where I want my bundles placed, so I don't have to do it. But if this is your first time, I definitely recommend. I did that for my first wig and I still have my wig, and if I can go and find it somewhere, I'll insert a picture of how it looks, but if not, you guys can definitely use that process. One thing I did forget to mention is that you don't have to sew through the weft every stitch, but I do. I sew through the weft every single time. Again, it's just more secure, I feel like, but you don't have to. There are a lot of people who make wigs that they just sew through the weft like every so often, or they just sew through the weft at the beginning and at the end, and it's like the wig is still gonna be good. Like, I just feel like it's more secure if I do it every single time. Like, it's less likely for the wig to come apart, but you definitely don't have to. It is harder to sew through the weft all the time, and I don't think I show you guys, but at the end my thumb is always sore for like 2-3 days because it's hard. Like, sewing through the weft is extremely hard, but you don't have to do it. It's just my preference. Now here I just wanted to show you guys how I would flip the hair onto the next line. I don't cut my bundles just because I don't like to. Again, that's just a preference. You can if you want, but I don't like to. So to make sure that it still looks flat, I'm gonna knot the previous line and then flip the hair onto the next line. I'm gonna sew through the weft and knot it again. Again, it's not for everybody, it's just what I prefer. Okay guys, so this is how the wig is looking. Well, it's done. So next what you want to do is go ahead and cut off the black part of the cap, but only before the frontal is sewn. I couldn't really show you guys because like I really had to pay attention to this. You just want to be very careful how you're cutting that black piece off. You want to cut it in front of where you sewed the frontal down, not too much in front but before, and just be careful not to cut the needle the thread, because then the whole frontal will come apart. But this is how it's looking and I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. So I just decided that I wanted to straighten the hair. I'm not really sure why, but I wanted to straighten it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm combing through, then I'm applying I don't remember what the name of the oil is, but some oil, and then I'm flat ironing it. And look at all that heat. That hair is a bone straight, okay? Also did go in and pluck the frontal a bit, not much but a little bit. I have a whole video on that and I'll put it in the cards if you want to go and see how I customize my frontals. So no matter the length, I always go and I cut like about an inch or two off of the wig, just because I don't like to see like those straggly ends, so I always just cut it. I didn't really show you guys that, but I'm just letting you guys know. But this is how the wig is looking, guys. I absolutely love it. It came out really nice and flat. I love that for me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give the video a like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, more life style videos, and just DIY projects that I love to do. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.